which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap? The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? You know, if Naegi survives this, he'll have Pete. Oh my fucking god!
Yo!
Fucking insane bunch of here! Oh, let's hope this isn't a bottomless pit to death.
It smells awful.
You got a little something on your head there. Kyoko?
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So,
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you. Trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. So, you knew that I knew.
indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I wonder if there would have been a bad ending if you picked Kiri.
Yeah, I don't know.
Game ends right there. I abandoned you. Don't say that! You didn't abandon me! No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However,
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there was a reason I had to survive, no matter the cost. Reaction! Why did you have to survive?
it's true.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words,
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to Hope's Peak for one very important reason. Reaction! So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak.
indeed.
That's right. At least, I did once. You know, I just realized, does she have a slight hint of eyeliner? Once? Until recently, I've forgotten what it was. You forgot? But that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory? That's impossible. Amnesia?
No.
Then, it really is true. You lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at this school? The first thing? You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself. A disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I had come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey,
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient. Are you saying that you think you lost your memory because...
indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the Mastermind. They stole my memory. But why would they want to do that? There's only one reason I can come up with. Because my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the Mastermind's plan. So the Mastermind just stole that from you?
However,
And it could also mean, somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of this school and the Mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
why is that?
If I did that, and and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? The mastermind. One of us? If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look into her missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. But why me? Ah, crap. I'll be back in a bit. Okay. So, back to where we were here. Hold on. Okay, yeah.
I'm your BGM now.
Yeah. Use the music now. Okay, because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Oh, yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability. Reaction! We need this one. You mentioned your ability. My ability. What everyone should have known me for. I fucking had been saying it! I'm the
I feel
ultimate
like
detective.
we all knew at the beginning of the game.
It's also easy to figure out.
Yeah.
The ultimate detective?
Correct.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy. There was someone I had to find here in the school. Reaction! You had to find someone. Who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy. The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak. Kyoko's dad. Is Hope Peak's headmaster? And that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense.
However...
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear, so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I had seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. Then, what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess. The desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes. And to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found. But why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. Is this some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room, along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that was true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. Reaction! So, what was it like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
so...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. It sounds like it must be important, and really ominous. What if the second set of dorm rooms is where the last set of people were, you know?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I better talk to Kyo. Oh, I thought I just did.
However,
Of course, once I got to the second... Okay. Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. Reaction. It has to do with Mukuro Ikusawa, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. And I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who killed her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ikusawa was to get me killed. Get you killed?
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was? The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, with minimal restrictions, you are free to explore.
In other words,
The mastermind is admitting about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusawa. What's that? There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto. Reaction? I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Do you mean during the night? I can hear them, you know? The footsteps of the god of death. What? I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases, just like this,
Anyway,
which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the mass assailant was. They ended up dead,
correct.
and their murderer was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class trial to eliminate me. Reaction. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think. But that's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to kill you, because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right. That is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. So, what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more. And I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair. There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair, and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event. You're talking about what happened a year ago. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair?
It would seem...
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy.
A cult!
100-mile dash.
The Monokuma cult!
And we will find out that it was all Junko. Probably not. To be continued in the final chapter. Dream Island Rocket. Oh wow, we get the first execution thing as a fucking present.
Oh, hell yeah!
Save that. 5 alive. The ultimate despair. A group of people who caused the tragedy 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed. But right now,
Anyway,
Amen.
yeah, I know, it's late.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought we were stopping on the chapter swap.
I thought you were about to, like, tell me right there, like, okay, time, but you didn't say anything, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after. Yeah, you're right. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring your mastermind. I would never part with it. And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then... Yes! It's opened!
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief. Because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Hot damn. If that ain't the thing, if that ain't telling me that this is the end, I don't know what does.
it's got an interesting image there too.
Yep. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up, like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Okay, game, I see what you're doing there. They darkened it up for us, though, so all those perverts couldn't see it.
Damn.
The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped, I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Hey.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you. Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So, Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So, how long have you been doing detective work? How long?
So,
Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way. Then, is your family famous?
wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us. Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
Right.
because we take pride in it. Pride?
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence. Oh wait, is it conscious effort? I'm not saying that right. Zach, say the word for me. Brain, not work. Isn't that concise?
That's conscious.
Wait, was it? My brain.
That's conscious.
Okay.
That's a conscious effort. That's a saying. Should know the saying.
Actually, I've never heard the saying, ever, in my
What the-
life. Never heard
How?
that.
How have you never heard the saying?
I've never heard that.
You've never heard the saying that they've
Conscious
made a
effort.
conscious effort.
Never once have I ever heard someone say they've made a conscious effort.
Who hurt you?
Somebody. When was the first time you heard it?
I don't fucking know. Probably like grade school?
Well, schools don't teach me shit. A conscious
Probably
effort.
not from the school?
I don't know. You'd think you'd hear it once there, maybe.
Possibly. I mean, probably first heard it not from the school though.
Probably. It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family creed, and we do what we must to protect it. Because like I said, it's our source of pride. Pride. So that explains... Before I came here, when I was looking up info about that school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up some of that pride. Huh? In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigi detective would do. But the reason you gave up on that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how
You
much
okay?
you wanted. Yeah, my dog was laying on my cord.
Shit.
It was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
what?
Reconnect. I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father. Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There is something I want to say to him, though. What? No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face. What is it?
So,
I want to sever all ties with him. Sever? The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigi family. He was talented. He had a promising future,
however,
but he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind. I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective. I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression. So I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that. What she might have been feeling.
Oh, you could look down? Fuck.
Yeah, and then fell. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional. I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there's one thing I can never forgive. Really?
so
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing.
however,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago. But your family. To just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family? Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So, instead, I said nothing. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Looks like this is it.
indeed.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us. We're back.
That's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground near the trash room? I'm very certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so... Looks like we're back.
Whew.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted. I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you. No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor. So, now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the mastermind finds out... And I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might...
Listen.
You're worried? Yeah, of course.
So
Then let's just get a concrete answer. Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait! That's...
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. It's not like we can run away. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So, you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now? Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the mastermind is the one that's ensnared. The mastermind is ensnared? You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down. There was?
right.
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations. I'm still a little... no. Super uneasy about this. But... we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going.
Shall we go?
Let's head to the gym. Monokuma should be there. This is how we got out of the garbage pit. I never would have imagined that's where this led. Leave the area. Okay, well, to the
Wait. Beginning of the game. Weren't we told by Monokuma that that door led somewhere else?
Yeah?
Weren't we told that door led to like some complicated machinery?
Well now.
Oh boy,
That it was
here
like
we
an
go.
electrical panel?
Yeah.
What the fuck, Monokuma?
We've got more to uncover. Hey! That was... Hold on, let me get the drink first. Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I don't believe it!
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here? That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay? You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do? If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again. And this time I won't leave anything to chance. Kyoko, do whatever you feel you have to. What?
However,
But before you do, let me just say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that it matters to you, right? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey! What are you talking about?
however,
But when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right,
And in response to that unexpected development,
indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. The end of the episode.